Hey guys, welcome back to my channel where I'll be discussing the NWSL Regular Season Match between the Seattle Reign and the Houston Dash. And speaking of rain, it's currently raining where I'm at. Anyway, you can listen to this match review on Spotify, link in the description below. Likewise, if you're listening to this on Spotify, you can also watch this game review on YouTube. Link will be in the description. Alright, so it's been a while since I covered the Reign. I'm a bit rusty, I know. But yeah, it's been a while because I don't have CVS. And when they say a match is also going to stream on Paramount Plus at the same time, it's either not there, not available, or I just can't find it. That was kind of the case with the Reign's last match against the Chicago Stars, and also a couple of Orlando's games. And speaking of the Reign's last game, maybe it was a good idea that I couldn't watch that one, because I would have been pissed. Honestly, how do you blow a 3-0 lead? You're up 3-0 and somehow you let the Stars come back and grab 3 goals. Given how much time Laura Harvey focuses on defending, given all the times the Reign has just parked the bus after grabbing a single goal, you would expect better from the Reign defensively. But then again, they did lose 4-2 to Portland a couple weeks ago, so there's that. Honestly, for this one against the Dash, please just go with a 5-back of defenders. We can still have Fishlock, Haitama, Fischl, Adames, or Darlene in the attack, but the Reign, they just need to lock down their defense again. Anyway, I'm just going to keep it short. Let's get into the lineup for this match. All right, so the lineup. We have Claudia Dickey in the goal. For defenders, Lou Barnes, Sophia Huerta, Phoebe McLaren, and Madison Curry. For midfielders, Ainsley McCammon, Sam Meza, and Ji So Yun. And for forwards, Maddie Darlene, Jordan Haitama, and Norelia Mondesier. Overall, it's an interesting lineup. Personally, I would have gone with a 5-back. I would have gone with a 5-back by throwing in Jordan Bug, or the Bug as I like to call her. Hopefully the Reign can keep things together defensively. As for the midfield and attack, they look okay. I can understand Harvey's strategy of saving players like Fishlock, Fischl, Adames, and Biandolo for the second half, but hopefully with Haitama, Mondesier, Darlene, and G, we can see a strong attacking effort in this first half, as well as some goals. I mean, they definitely have it in them, they just need to put away their chances. Anyway, that all being said, let's get into the first half. Alright, so the first half, we are off. Not really. There appears to be a weather delay. The match will be kicking off at 7:20 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So no wait for you guys watching or listening to this on YouTube or Spotify, but it's a 20-minute wait for me. So I'll see you in a bit. Alright, so the first half, we are off officially. So the 10-minute mark, early on, it seemed like the Dash were completely in control. They were applying pressure to the Reign in their defensive third and keeping the Reign from getting out of there. The Reign were holding off the Dash attack, but it took them a while to finally regain control and get their attack forward. Around the 8th minute, the Reign were starting to come alive more. There was a service in for Darlene by Mondesier that Darlene would end up skying. G would make a half-hearted attempt, but Haitama couldn't finish it. Looking back, I think it was more of a service, a weird service, or a cross. Alright, so the 20-minute mark. In these next 10 minutes, the Reign has had some good spells of possession. In the 12th, they had a corner kick. Nothing came from it. In the 14th, there was a nice long pass that found Haitama. Haitama made a really nice run, but instead of going for goal, she waited for her teammates to arrive. I think that was a situation where she could have gone for it herself. After that, though, control and possession would go back into the Dash's favor. We saw some more crosses, services, and build-up plays. In the 20th, Dickey made a nice stop off of a Dash cross. Hopefully the Reign can regain a little more control. So the 30-minute mark, 2 hydration breaks in these 10 minutes. The first one, not so official. Dickey went down and was getting checked over. It gave the players a chance to get a drink and, of course, discuss strategy. The second one was at the end of these 10 minutes, and it was an official one. However, Mondesier would go down holding her head, and she would get checked over. Both Dickey and Mondesier were both cleared to play. So in these 10 minutes, not really much from the Reign attack. They're still struggling to get possession. At the moment, the Dash have been more successful at keeping control and getting forward. The Dash had a close chance in the 28th. They were awarded a corner kick, and after it was sent in, the Reign couldn't clear it. The Dash's attempt would hit the crossbar, then they would try again on the rebound, but it would go wide. I think the Dash also did this weird thing where one of their players did a throw-in, and I could have sworn she bounced it off the head of her teammate as she was walking away. I'm not really sure, but if it did happen that way, I'm sure there was a strategy behind it. All right, so the 45-minute mark. Another player down, another water break. This time for the Dash. I mean, it's like, get all the water, get all the hydration that you can because the heat is shit. But for these next couple minutes, I noticed the Reign had been really good at connecting with Haitama and putting the ball at her feet. There was a long ball to her earlier. In the 32nd, Mondesir was able to get a long ball up to her. Then in the 36th, Mondesir played a through ball into Haitama, but unfortunately it was too heavy and Campbell scooped it up. As for Mondesir, she's good when she gets forward, but it seems like she struggles under pressure. Truthfully, she was handling it better as the half went on, so that's always good. All right, so there would be an additional 7 minutes of added time, but nothing would come from it. The half would end in the 52nd minute with the Reign 0-0 with the Dash. All right, so the Seattle Reign are currently 0-0 with the Houston Dash. Overall, it's not a bad first half. Both sides have had good spells of possession, and it seemed like the Reign were getting forward pretty well. As I mentioned earlier, the team was doing well to find and connect with Haitama. In the second half, I think what we need to see more of is the Reign getting forward, creating more plays, and making more attempts on goal. More intensity would be good, but the second half is usually when the Reign really starts to get going. That is where we'll see more pace, more urgency, more intensity, more everything. This could also be a good time to bring on Fishlock, Fischl, Biandulo, or Adamas. Besides that, hopefully we can see some Reign goals. That being said, on to the second half. All right, so the second half, we are off. The 55-minute mark. So the second half is usually where the Reign ups their intensity and pressure, right? Yeah, I talked about it earlier. It's usually where the Reign starts grabbing goals. But unfortunately, if the Reign is going to make a mistake, especially in the back line, it's likely going to happen in the second half, especially early in the second half. All right, so here's the rundown of what happened. 46th minute, big mistake from McLaren. Dickey played a pass over to McLaren. McLaren may have wanted to play it back to Dickey. Ryan jumped on it, stole it, and scored. Dash 1-0. Could you blame Dickey for not being aware? Honestly, I don't think it would be fair because Dickey likely thought McLaren wasn't going to pass it back to her. Dickey likely thought McLaren was going to do literally anything else besides pass it back to her. But unfortunately, she did, and Ryan jumped on it and scored. So now the Reign are down 1-0. On the upside, though, the Reign's response after the goal has been good. They had a corner kick, nothing from it. In the 50th minute, though, Haitama and Mondesir made a pretty cool run together. Yeah, nothing came from it, but hopefully the Reign can maintain their intensity and keep applying pressure. Mondesir has been doing good when it comes to reacting under pressure and getting out of it. So the 65-minute mark, in these 10 minutes, especially early on, the Dash have been on the attack for the most part, and the Reign were having to defense/fight them off. We're seeing more pressure from the Dash as well, so the Reign has to be careful with that. For the most part, the Reign are handling things well. Harvey would make 2 subs in the 62nd. G and McCammon would come off. Menti and Biandolo would sub in. In the 65th, Huerta would make a deep service into the Dash box, and Haitama was able to head it into the goal, making it 1-1 for the Reign. So the 75th minute mark, the Reign are facing a lot more pressure from the Dash since scoring in the 65th. The Reign are under fire with crosses, services, and attempts. But for the most part, they're holding off the Dash attack pretty well. Dickey also had a couple of good saves too. The Reign are trying to get forward. Harvey subbed on Adamas for Mondesir in the 73rd. So the plan is still to attack. However, the Reign need to regain control and get forward. They need to get out of their box. That's kind of what it comes down to right now. The 85th minute mark, the Dash are keeping up their barrage of attacks. The Reign are still defending well. However, they're still not getting forward as much as they would like. I guess the Reign are going to settle with a draw if they can manage that, or keep the Dash from scoring. All right, so the 90-minute mark, lots of intensity in these final minutes. 86 minutes, Biandolo attempt, top right corner goes wide. Harvey would bring in Fishlock and Mason for Meza and Barnes. Mason would receive a yellow card for grabbing a Dash player while she was running. Mason was trying to cut off her run. It was kind of concerning because I thought it could be a red card for denial of a goal-scoring opportunity, but it was just a regular foul. Still worthy of a yellow, though. The Dash were awarded a free kick that would get touched wide. There were an additional 6 minutes of added time. McLaren may have escaped a yellow and a potential penalty in the 93rd. The ball was played into the Reign box and a Dash player in front of McLaren went down in the box. McLaren headed the ball away after she went down. Some of the Dash players were arguing that McLaren pulled her down in the box. She might have, but the ref didn't call the foul. She just gave it as a corner kick instead. The second half would end in the 96th minute with the Reign drawing 1-1 to the Houston Dash. Alright, so Seattle Reign draws 1-1 with the Houston Dash. Overall, it was a pretty good match. The Reign defended well, and it was great that they were able to come back after going down 1 early on in the second half. I wish they had more control in this game though, and it would have been great if the Reign could grab more goals. But maybe it just wasn't in the cards for them tonight. It was a great goal by Haitama in the 65th though, but I did like Huerta's assist. Huerta's assist was amazing and perfect. I would like to think Huerta was like, I'm just going to yeet this into the box and hope Haitama gets on the end of it. But yeah, I wish we had more of that. Besides McLaren's misplaced pass, like I said earlier, the Reign defended well against the Dash. The Dash were really on the attack in this game. I thought they were going to come back in additional time given how aggressive they were with their attack and how aggressive they were playing. But the Reign held them off till the very end. A draw is still good, but I would like to see the Reign grab a win next time, as well as more goals. Anyway, that is all I have for you guys today or tonight. Congrats to the Reign, and I'll see you all in the next one. Later.